Hey, 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 welcome back. It's great to see you again. Thanks for being here. I'm going to be talking about how you can use Chat GPT to create informational talks using slides. And slides are great because you can do a faceless YouTube video. You can add the slides to SlideShare. You can create a transcript from the video you've put on YouTube and to create a story, and then you can put that on your website along with a video, and then share all of that content through social media. So it is incredibly powerful what it is that I am going to share with you. But the key to success is absolutely the prompts it is that you're going to use within ChatGPT. So the prompts are the instructions that you're going to give ChatGPT to give you the results it is that you want. The content you get back from GPT is only going to be as good as the prompts that you put in. So I always say that you need to play around with the prompts. Don't be scared if you don't get the answer it is that you're looking for. Just think of another way of doing something. It's just like what you would do in coaching. You would ask inquisitive questions. You would pull out the information. So what ChatGPT will do is when you start asking questions to bring out information for your talks, is that it can give you catchy slide headlines, it'll give you new ideas. You can make sure that everything flows and is succinct. You can check it out and see if you're actually missing anything from your talk. But we know as coaches that we need to share our knowledge, our insight, and our wisdom with people. And to do that, we do that mainly through speaking, showing up, being highly visible online, which is really important for building your social, not only your social proof, but your digital footprint. And also plays a key role in you working towards authority online. So it's only going to be as good as the prompts that you give it. And to make sure that it is 100% unique and congruent with who you are, that it's not robotic, it's not regurgitating out information that is complicated, that you've got no connection with, that is a bit lifeless. It's quite easy to do on ChatGPT. If you're not giving it its own content, it will give you so much data and information that is quite cold and quite complex, and you can't connect to it. So you really need to be mindful when you go on and use it. So if you're creating a talk, you want to think about the words, the copy, the points, the tips, the insights it is that you want to share. Otherwise, you run the risk of becoming overwhelmed and getting the wrong information out of ChatGPT. So you're only as good as your prompts. You're only as good as the information that you give it. It's why you really need to pick out the best information and just ditch the rest, because otherwise it just gets overwhelming. It's very easy to do, to go off track and to lose your thought and to lose your own unique style when you're using ChatGPT. So when I was doing these slides, I wrote them out. I'm going to put this on my website and it's going to go in the new book. But I wrote my slides out initially, and then I asked GPT to make them better. But what happened was, when it made them better, it detached my voice from what it is that I wanted to say. So even though it made it better, it wasn't authentic to me. So you need to be crystal clear about what your talk is about, what it is that you want to get across. And then what you can do is you can use already made prompts, which will help you to create catchy titles for your slides. It will help you to think about what's missing. It will help you to think about the talk it is that you're giving from a new perspective. So it gives you lots of research, lots of fresh ideas to think about. But as I said, you want to be crystal clear. So let's just say you want to choose a name for your talk. you would go into Chat GPT and you would ask it to create 20 names of a talk based on the keywords it is that you want to share. It will give you 20 options. If you don't like those, you can say, do it again, and it will give you another 20. But what I find is when I ask it to do the headlines for me, the titles, is it will give me a lot. I'll like one, and then I'll take that one and I'll adapt it again with different keywords that are unique to me. And then I will find one eventually that I like. So you want to choose the best ideas to work with, get really focused. You want to be able to bring your ideas to life by creating a captivating slide deck. So once you've got your title for your talk, things start to become much easier. Then you can carry out some research. You can ask Chat GPT, once you've got your title, to create an outline of a possible slide deck. And what I recommend you do is that you do this with a couple of different prompts, so you can have a look at how Chat GPT is suggesting that you can do it differently. And then from the templates, just pick out what is relevant for your talk. Now, not everything is going to be relevant for your talk, all of the information. You just want to pick out the best bits, the best ideas. You want to have a good idea of the topic it is that you can cover, what's important, what are some of the pros and cons. So what you can start to do is you can start to build up your talk much more quickly, because ChatGPT is able to do the research for you, which is fantastic. It saves so much time. It's incredible. Design your way to success, as I said, is really about picking out the golden nuggets, the best bits, not using everything. Once you've got your title, as I said, you can then work from there. You can use a number of already made prompts that will come up with lots of ideas. And then what you can do is you can create your mock slides, which is really, really invaluable, because you can get your ideas down into a Google document or into a Word document, and you can start to see your talk come to life. So you want to create that slide deck, as I said, on either Google or Word. Then as you're working, you want to copy and paste the ideas it is that ChatGPT is coming up with into your document, so you can play around with and work with ChatGPT in your style and with your message in terms of what it is that you want to get across. So I started with, when I was just playing around for this presentation, I had, as an example, 2 keys to success. And then I put it in ChatGPT, gave it a little bit of context, and it changed it to the secret of success, ChatGPT prompts and your creativity. Much better than, 2 keys to success. For sure. It's a bit more catchy. It's a bit more enticing. I never could have come up with it myself. So brilliant. Absolutely fantastic for giving you new ideas and better ways to communicate with your audience. So once you've got your slides and your ideas, you've got your Google document together, you've got all your ideas on it, you can then go back into ChatGPT and go through your headings, change your headings. You can go through the bullet points of your talk and see if you've covered everything, see if they can make those bullet points better, give you different ideas. But just be careful here, because this is the mistake I made, was that actually what I had done was good enough. I just needed to change the headings, not the bullet points, because when I changed the bullet points, it took it off track and not in line with the message it is that I wanted to get across. Which is important. We want to be authentic. We want to say what it is we want to say in our voice, but use Chat GPT to give you the structure to work within much more quickly. So once you've gone through that process of creating the draft of your slide outline, asking ChatGPT to change the headings, to give you other formats to think about, other bullet points to think about, you can then go ahead and actually create your slides. You can either do it in Canva, you can do it in Microsoft, whatever application it is that you are using, you can then create your slides. But don't put all of this copy onto your slide, just have some catchy headlines it is that you can use. Because remember, I can now use what it is, this talk that I've created multiple different ways to create a tremendous amount of content so people can find me online. So what are some of the pros and cons of using ChatGPT to create a talk, to create slides? Well, as I've mentioned, some of the pros is that you can generate tons of new ideas that will help you think outside of the box. It's not that you've got writer's block, it's that it will give you other ways of thinking about things, which is great. So it generates tons of new ideas. It can provide catchy slide titles, which enhances the appeal for your presentation, for your talk. It offers a framework. It can offer a framework for organizing the structure of your talk, which is really important to make sure that you connect all of the dots. It helps with the research process for gathering information. So you can make sure that you're not missing anything out, which is really great. You can make sure that your presentation flows, that it's smooth. So some of the cons are that it may generate ideas that are not relevant to your topic. Yeah, you can easily get lost. You need to think about what it is that you want to focus in on. That's really important. If you just go in and say, create me a talk on purple cars, it's just going to give you its perspective. It's going to be quite cold. It's just going to give you its perspective on purple cars. But what we want is your perspective on purple cars. So it may provide content that is too generic or not specific enough for your audience yet. So again, you just got to be really clear. It could potentially result in plagiarism if you copy and paste content without changing it. Really important. But if you're doing this in your own voice, in your own context, then you're covered. You don't need to worry about it. It may not always provide the most accurate, up-to-date information, because it's just scraping it from the internet. May require additional editing and reframing to make the content more relevant and effective for your presentation. Yeah, so the cons only really exist if you don't think about how it is that you want to use Chat GPT, how it is that the context and the framework, the container it is that you want to give it to create the piece of work it is that you need to create. You need to be in control of that, not Chat GPT. Otherwise, you are going to get a duplication of copy and content, which you don't want. You need this to be authentic to yourself. But I have found it really useful to create slides, bring talks together. And the key to success, as I said at the beginning, is absolutely, you've got to think about the prompts that you're using. You can either create your own prompts, or there are tons of other prompts that are already created that you can use. You want to give it your own content, the context like I have in this talk. This is all of my knowledge, my expertise, but I've looked at a framework that I've used from Chat GPT to bring it together and to streamline it. And for me to make lots of different formats of marketing and getting myself out there. So as I said, this will be as a video. I will transcribe what it is, the spoken word that can go on my website. I will upload these slides to SlideShare. Again, that'll give me another opportunity to be found. So this is a really great starting point for you to then create a lot of social media content that can add value. It might feel a little bit complicated to begin with, but once you find your flow, once you find your way of doing things, it becomes much easier. Okay, so I'm going to be doing more talks or talking about Chat GPT, about how you can use it within your coaching business more. So if you enjoyed this content, or if you've got any questions, just pop them below in the chat box. That would be awesome. Give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please do remember to subscribe. But until next time, adios.